bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, next generation of Baltimore sports talk. I am your dearly listener host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by a guy who has spent his entire weekend clicking and re-clicking the All-Star ballot to vote for Trey Mancini, Cedric Mullins, and Chris Davis, all to make the All-Star game. The button lover, Josh Soroka.
You got me with the Chris Davis. I didn't see that one coming. So you got me there.
You might have to write that one in.
You caught me. Those 17 Chris Davis votes all came from St. Augustine, Florida.
There you go.
Which is it's June, which is now rainy season in Florida, which means we have like a huge thunderstorm pretty much every day from 2 p.m. to like 2:15. And it's huge lightning.
I do my daily check of the box scores, and I saw that the Norfolk game down there in Jacksonville was rained out. And I thought your little rain shower was supposed to last 10 minutes and then supposed to be done, but you guys rained out a whole game.
It was, but today today was a bigger storm.
Yeah.
But yeah, normally it is like a 15-minute rainstorm come June. So yeah. I can't tell. They weren't supposed to play. They're not still in Jacksonville today, right?
No. Monday, no minor league games for anybody ever on Mondays.
Oh, Monday's the travel day with the new weird weekend in town.
Yeah, you play Tuesday through Sunday and then travel. Yeah.
Because I was looking outside, I'm like, it's not raining now. So you confused me.
Yeah, it was yesterday or the day before. I forget. It was
Gotcha.
Yeah, the game was rained out.
Well, and it looks like the Orioles game, as we're recording, is getting ready to get started, as they had a rain delay in Cleveland tonight as well.
Yep. And this has been the weather report brought to you by the Weather Bug.
Is the Weather Bug still a thing?
I don't know. That was a thing when I was in college, right? That was a thing.
Yeah, I remember the Weather Bug was like with dial-up internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right after you check your AOL weather, it was powered by the Weather Bug.
I tell you what, though, you would think the weather apps may have gotten more sophisticated, but I feel like they're just as accurate as they were 20 years ago for dial-up.
No. The weather
you think they're more accurate?
Oh, yeah. No,
it'll tell me it's raining outside when I'm sitting outside and it's not raining. I don't buy it.
You've just got the wrong app. That's the problem. I use what is this? I use Weather Nerd, and it'll tell me it's going to start raining in 5 minutes. And sure enough, it starts in 5 minutes. And it'll say it'll stop in 15. And sure enough, it stops in 15. So you just got the wrong app. Okay.
I just got the app, whatever the iPhone gives me.
Yeah, you think they're going to give you a good weather thing for free?
Yeah, I don't know. This iPhone comes from China. I don't know how they're telling the weather when they're already in China anyway. That's probably the problem.
I don't think the iPhone comes from China.
Isn't that where it's made? That's where this thing is built and created.
I think it's like made in I think it's like made in California, assembled in China or something, I think is what it says on the back.
Okay. Sorry, I was just listening to this podcast this morning about China and Apple and just the dynamic. So that's on my brain.
Yeah, I don't know. It's part of that whole woke culture where people want to get all upset, but we all know like it's slaves building our iPhones and our Nikes.
Yeah. Well, I guess according to this podcast, and China was like willing to do it, and now there's not as willingly doing it. They're kind of standing up for themselves or something, and so it's causing some drama with Apple or something.
That's why the price of the phones went up.
Yeah, maybe that has to do with it. I don't know, but it seems like the price of everything's going up nowadays.
It is. Yeah. I am looking for a car, and was told that car pricing has went up 12%, and it's going to go up even higher as I continue to look.
That's what I saw. I saw just a headline saying for the first time ever, like you could buy a used car, drive it off the lot, and the value goes up instead of going down the second you drive it off the lot.
All right, then maybe that's the key. Maybe right now I buy a crappy used car to get me by.
And just wait. And just wait a few months as the values continue to rise.
It's like baseball cards. I'll make some money off of these things.
Yeah, there you go. Just make sure it's in good condition.
Exactly. Right. I'll keep it in a plastic case.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a lot to get to today.
No, we don't. This has been a really slow week of Orioles baseball.
This is one of the, and we played Tampa. We get a Tampa series because the Tampa series was so quintessentially Tampa. It was unbelievable.
And it was a great example of where the Orioles are compared to Tampa.
Yeah.
And kind of the weaknesses of the Orioles were highlighted in Tampa.
Yeah, and Tampa does what they literally do every single time. And not just, in fairness, not just against us, but against everybody. It's why they're good. It's also why people continually underestimate them because the way they play, where their starters don't go. I mean, their starters like Jorge Lopez, right? Like they go 5 innings.
Rich Hill was one of the guys this weekend.
Yeah, and they'll go 5 innings, but then their bullpen. Their bullpen this week. I know on Sunday they pitched like 7 innings without giving up a run or something. The whole weekend, their whole entire bullpen gave up 2 hits. 2 hits. The whole bullpen. I mean, this is what they do. They have the second best run differential like after the 5th inning, to 9th, because this is what they do.
And their offense isn't great. Their pitching's outstanding.
Their bullpen is amazing.
Yeah.
And their starting pitching just gets them to the bullpen, and they just throw these random dudes out there who just get everybody out in the bullpen. It's what you can't name their bullpen arms, but they get everybody out. So
you know what I liked. This was our first time playing Tampa this year because the schedule was really jacked up and weird.
Was it the first time? I thought the second time. Was it the first time?
I'm pretty sure it's the first time.
Okay. I know we haven't played Toronto yet.
Oh, no, we hosted them in May. It's the first time we've gone to Tampa.
Right.
Yeah, and I know we haven't played Toronto yet. But I liked, as much of a dump as Tropicana Field is, we've both been there. We can both say it is a dump.
Yeah, I've been there.
But I liked that fans were out at the game. It's fun to see fans at games.
Yeah.
And even Tampa had fans at the games more than Orioles have recently.
Yeah, I know. It's that funny point in the season, Josh, where I was thinking about it, fans going to the game. First of all, I don't go to very many games anymore because I just don't feel safe in the city. But and school nights.
No, people are going to believe you when you say that.
I know. I'm just kidding. That's just all these excuses people come up with. But what happens is, here's what really happens. School nights is a real thing.
Yes.
Because games go late. But then school lets out about this time. Like, I got out this week. Some students get out. Some kids in Maryland get out next week or the week after. Right. It's within kind of this time frame. And by this point, nobody wants to watch the Orioles anymore. So when you want to watch the Orioles, because at the beginning of the season, you're kind of excited, you got school nights. Then by the time you get to the mid-June, you don't want to watch this team anymore anyway. So no one's going to the game.
Yeah, it's tough. I saw there was an article it was either the Sun or the Washington Post. It was one of those, I think it was a D.C. paper, talking about how the Oriole attendance has drastically, gone down every year since 2014. And they were like, look at this high in 2014. And every year it's gone down. And it's like people do not seem to correlate. It's not a lack of, the fans, it's not that Baltimore can't support a baseball team. And I get you're trying to make that point because everyone wants to point to Nashville and say, oh, the team's moving. It shows you what happens when you win ball games. When you win ball games, nobody cares how dangerous the city is. Nobody cares that it's a school night. When you're winning ball games, it's exciting and you pack the stadium.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely true. There's a correlation to attendance and win totals, and it's not a mystery.
Yeah. Right. It's the same correlation that has to do with podcast downloads about an Orioles podcast versus the Orioles win-loss total.
Yeah, there was an article came out this week. I think it was on Fox Sports by one of the guys from that barbecue Cespedes barbecue people.
Yep.
And the title of the article was "How to Cope When Your Favorite Baseball Team Stinks."
All right. So
and they have some piece of advice.
By the guy. This must have been written by the guy who's the Oriole fan.
He's an Orioles fan. Yeah. So this is written by Jake Mintz, who's an Oriole fan.
Yes.
So let me throw you a couple of his things by you and see what you think.
All right.
He says, don't watch every game from start to finish. You buy that?
Yeah, I'll buy that. Sometimes, all right, here's my trick. Sometimes, as an Orioles fan to cope this year, I pretend that I don't know the Orioles are playing. Or as soon as I realize we're out of it, I'll shut the game off. It's hard to watch start to finish with this team.
Yeah, like there's no on Sunday when the dude hit the grand slam, you can turn it off. You turn the game off.
Go mow the grass. Anything else?
I mean, I don't want to pitch. He's pitching on Tuesday, I think. When Matt Harvey pitches, it's okay not to watch. you know what Matt Harvey's going to do. You can skip that one. Yeah. You can tune in for your John Means and Bruce Zimmerman starts. You tune in for Jorge Lopez because you never know what you're going to get. But
right, and you tune in for John Means, and you tune in for the first 3 innings of every game. I watch the first 3 of every game because you never know what this lineup can do. Yeah, and his second thing is related. It says trust your MLB at bat app alerts. Right, so alerting you if there's something happening important or if it's a close game, you can tune in. I for one, I don't have any alerts on my phone. Because I don't want any updates. But yeah, like you have other alerts, just not for the MLB app. Like your messages and stuff will still alert you and notify you. Yeah, I mean, I think I got text message alerts. Yeah, exactly. I don't know if I have anything else besides text message alerts on. I have the same thing. I have all the MLB alerts turned off because I watch the games through the MASN app or the MLB network, and I'm all afraid of getting the alert before I see it on TV. So I have all that stuff turned off. Yeah. Or you can be like Bert, who's afraid of getting the alert before it happens while he's at the game. Yeah, I actually recently, because I'm watching on the website on masnsports.com. Yeah. And I can't get on Twitter because there is it's not just like a 5-second delay. It's like a 15, 20-second delay. It's like 7. No, it is more than 7. Because I see tweets on there. How can someone can't tweet in 7 seconds before it happens in the thing? So I have to say, I don't know. I don't know what it is. His third one says. By the way, the MASN app is how it does not check for blackouts. So if you're ever in a territory where you're worried about the MLB blackouts, like when the Orioles play in Tampa, instead of using the MLB network, which gives you a little better quality, log into the MASN app, and you can watch the game. Good device. It doesn't have all the features that the app does. No, and I can't pause it, and no, and you have to go in and you have to choose MASN 1 or MASN 2, and like gamble. I don't understand why the app can't tell me which channel the game's on, but whatever. It's a reminder why I don't gamble, because I feel like I get it a 50-50 chance. I get it wrong 80% of the time. Oh, tonight, what game? I went to choose it because of the rain delay. The MLB network won't tell me. It'll just it won't automatically start playing. So I went to the MASN app instead, and 50-50 shot. I said, all right, Orioles Cleveland. It's a Monday night. I'm going with the MASN app or MASN, and no, it's on MASN 2. Joe's poorly. Always wrong. Jake Mint said for number 3, know when to go to bed. Okay. I kind of do that. I fall asleep with the game on often, but I take these sleep gummies to go to bed. Yeah, so I know at what time in the game to grab the gummies, and because I'll be out in about 20 minutes. Yeah, and he talks about this in an article, but we know the Orioles well enough to know who's in the bullpen, who's pitching, who do we got back there? Is this Stroller? Is he the only arm left in there and he's coming in? Okay, go to bed. All right. If Xavier Valdez coming in, go to bed. If you still have Fry back there, Tanner Scott's there, stay up. But if you don't have those guys, exactly. The next one is based on the score, who's an option in that pen. Yeah. His next one is pick your spots, know your rotation. This is what we just talked about. Matt Harvey, John Means is pitching. You want to watch that. And the next number 5, zone in on one minor league team with all the prospects. It's Bowie. And so this would be Bowie, right? Who has the best record in all the minors. We're going to talk more a little bit about what's happening on Tuesday with Grayson Rodriguez making the start at Bowie. Yeah, I assume it's going to be a sellout. I don't know about that. Number 6 is celebrate every debut like it's a big one. I think that's good. I think this is something Oriole fans do really well, is celebrate every debut like it's a big one. Don't we Cedric Mullins when he first got up, Ryan Mackhouse when they got up? We make a big deal out of players making to the majors, even these not Tyler high Nevin. Prospects. What's that? Tyler Nevins. Yeah. No, we do. The Orioles do. The Oriole fans do a good job with celebrating prospects that come up.
And then number 7 says, invest in someone, pick a hill to die on. This reminds me of my love affair with Brian Mattis. Like, I think you just have to almost pick random fringe guys. I like this one a lot, to kind of obsess over and cheer over, whether it's a knuckleballer at Norfolk or whether it's a major leaguer throwing a dead fish. I think you got to get behind kind of these, whether it's a DJ Stewart or whether it's a Bruce Zimmerman, this kind of borderline major leaguer, and just have that be your guy, right? And even if you sound ridiculous and dumb when you tweet out Mattis for starter, when clearly he has the worst starting ERA in the history of baseball, you kind of have to go all in for a guy.
Right. Yeah, it's yeah, totally. Have fun with it.
Number
Enjoy
8.
The losing.
Number 8 is kind of a weird one, but remember, everyone is trying their best. Okay, a little bit of orange slice here, but okay.
I don't believe that. I watched some of those games during that losing streak.
Yeah.
I don't believe everyone was trying their best.
Yeah, and I don't go number 8 either, because this is too much to me. Like,
this isn't give everyone a trophy.
Yeah, it's too much. Like, well, it's okay they lose every game. They're arguing their best. Now, like, talent-wise, it's not the Orioles' fault that they haven't spent money to acquire talent. But at the same time, I'm a guy who booed Chris Davis, right? I booed Chris Davis, even though Chris Davis may have been trying his best. I don't care. He wasn't hitting the ball, so I think he should be booed.
But I do stick with he's doing his best with Brandon Hyde, because with the Brandon Hyde hate, I feel like I kind of protect Brandon Hyde and say, no, he's doing his best. Look at the crap he's going out there and trying to deal with.
Right.
He's you can't expect him to win when those are the cards you give him to play with.
Right, but it's interesting, right, that Aaron Boone this week, the Yankees are under so much pressure. Aaron Boone, his seat is so on fire, he can't even sit down anymore. He's under so much heat, and they're a game over 500. Right. Meanwhile, the Orioles, haven't sniffed 500 since they were 0-0, and people are okay with Brandon Hyde.
But that makes sense because of the cards you have.
Right.
He's got a team that should be way better than that, and he's mishandling that team, or he's not motivating the team, or something. I don't know what managers really do for a team. I know that there's some strategy involved in manager stuff. I don't know how much you put wins and losses on a manager. I know that we can clearly see when a manager costs a loss by pulling the wrong pitcher, pulling a pitcher too early, pulling a pitcher too late. We see that. When a team just sucks and struggles, sometimes it's hard to say, all right, the manager's got to fix this. How do you do that? I guess your lineups and giving guys rest and dealing with that whole mental aspects, I don't know.
Yeah. How much that does a player slumping, how much does that reflect on the manager? And when you have an entire, like as the Yankees, where most of the offense is struggling, how much does that affect the offense? Yeah, I don't know. I don't. How much is that on the manager? I think that's an impossible question to know. Like Tony La Russa, for example, I thought everyone hates Tony La Russa for the White Sox,
right?
But his team's in first place, so I guess it's okay.
Yes. You can't hate him then.
Yeah, so it's. I think there's so many things out of the control of the manager, but the manager kind of takes the blame. I think Buck Showalter is a great example. He won a lot of games here. He also lost a lot of games here. Does that mean he got good one year and got bad the next year? No.
No. But he left Zach Britton in the bullpen.
Yeah.
And he brought in Eduardo Jimenez. So we can clearly, that's a manager decision affecting the game that we'll always blame Buck for.
Yeah. One little decision. But I would still take Buck Showalter as my manager over anyone in baseball. That's just me, though.
I think there's one guy that I might take over him.
Who's that?
A Madden.
Oh, you're a Joe Madden guy, huh?
Joe Madden.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
how'd that work out for him with the Angels? That's a good example, though, right?
No. The Angels are an interesting team because they've got some talent, and they're not able to do anything.
Right. And so if you thought, oh, well, they had Trout, they have a talent, they have all this talent. Maybe it's the manager issue. Well, they bring in Joe Madden, pay him a lot of money, and they still don't win. So
right. I mean, they're the same record as the Yankees. They're one game over 500,
and they've been playing really well lately because they were like 10 games under 500 a few weeks ago. They're on fire.
So maybe if they weren't on hot now, maybe there would be pressure on him.
Yeah, and he's done this without Mike Trout.
Yep.
Anyway, Anyway, that was his list for. But I do think you have to find ways to deal with the season.
Yeah. Is there anything you would add?
I become almost obsessive with the minor leagues. Like I check every single night, multiple times, more than the Orioles box score. If I'm not watching the game, I will check Bowie, Norfolk, Aberdeen, Delmarva. I will check it multiple times.
Yeah,
the box score, and so I think that helps. I wish they had better cameras in those games.
I wish they had a better app. The app sucks.
Yeah.
It's all it feels like a minor league experience all the way around.
And I find myself not just watching the box scores, but reading articles about it. I read articles about the draft all the time. The draft, we'll talk about the draft when it gets closer. Yeah. But it's really interesting how this draft, I've seen 5 or 6 different mock drafts by reputable sites. And every single one has had the Orioles picking someone different at number 5. So
I went off on one of the Birdland Tonights this weekend. I went off complaining about mock drafts because one of the viewers tried to bring up mock drafts, and I don't buy any mock drafts. I think we see mock drafts being screwed. No one's ever gotten a correct mock draft in the NFL.
Yeah,
baseball is even harder to predict.
Well, baseball is even harder to predict. And I don't know how someone has a favorite high school shortstop. How can you prefer?
Right.
I guess if you can look at their write-ups, but you've never seen these guys play against real competition, and you've never seen them actually play at all, televised or whatever. Like if you were to watch, and I watched a little bit of Kumar Rocker play East Carolina this last week. Yeah. And look good, and so I can have some opinion about Kumar Rocker, but how can I have a opinion about Jordan Lawler? Or some of these high school shortstops.
One, it's like horse racing, and you're trying to pick the pedigree.
Yeah,
and go with the guy because of coaches he had or family relations and stuff to try to figure out where he'll be as an adult.
Who is going to be good in 4 years from now? Yeah,
exactly. And 2, you don't know what Mike Elias sees as the needs for the Orioles. You don't see. Is Mike Elias want to draft a pitcher that'll be ready in 2 years, or is he feel good about the team in 2 years, but he knows that in 6 years he'll need a shortstop? So let me take this high schooler. You don't know Mike Elias's draft board. You don't know any team's draft board, and then you're trying to balance them all to that, and you don't know who we've sent scouts out for. What scouts have visited what players. You don't know what we have going on in the Dominican Republic, which is actually something we're doing now. So you don't know how all this stuff correlates.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple articles mention, and people just talk about on podcasts too, how Mike Elias likes to kind of go under draft or under slot so he can spend more money later. And fine, but 2 years ago, he selected Adley Rutschman with this thing, and he wasn't under slot at all. He was clearly the number 1 pick overall. Yep. So if the talent is there, he's going to pick it. It's not like this is just his thing. He's always going to go under slot. He's going to do the calculation and do what's best for his team. And it's oversimplified to say he's always going to take a pitcher, always going to take a college hitter, always going to do this. It's not true. That's just not true.
And I get that what's Rocker and the other guy, the 2 pitchers from Vanderbilt.
Jack Leiter, sure.
Yeah, everyone's excited about them. But guess what? They've only faced college baseball players.
Yeah, and those guys are really interesting because everyone in the offseason had them going 1-2. Right. Now I've seen them drop as far as 7 and 8. Those guys. Yeah.
And the question is what do scouts see? Because no one who made this mock draft went and watched a Vanderbilt game. They're going off highlights that they see on crappy YouTube videos that Vanderbilt has put out.
Well, you might be watching them now. I watched Vanderbilt in the College World Series.
I guess, yes, now it's on the College World Series. So you're not seeing them. You're not seeing them for a full game. You're not seeing them full season. You're not seeing and mapping their pitch selection and how they're using what pitches and what type of movement it has on it. You're just seeing, as a layperson, they get a lot of strikeouts.
Yeah.
How does that translate?
Or they throw hard, right? They throw 99 miles per hour or something.
Right. Sure. So how will that translate to the major leagues is what Mike Elias and his boys have to figure out that no one making these mock drafts really understands.
Yeah, and there is. I did hear. I mean, you heard stories that Mike Elias cleared house a little bit with the scouting department and got rid of a lot of scouts.
Yeah.
But I also heard, or I read, this is Fangraphs, that no GM has been seen in person more at these games
than Mike
Elias. Like
That's
he
what I've
goes and has these eyes on all these players.
Right.
Like he travels all the time to watch these guys.
Yes.
So in that, and Mike Elias has a strong scouting background.
And I've seen lots of reports on Twitter of Mike Elias spotted at BWI flying here or there or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with that.
And a good amount of Mike Elias's his success, right, with his team is going to be based on the draft because he's been fortunate enough. This is more fortunate than Dan Duquette was because Dan Duquette did something Mike Elias doesn't know about, and that's win. But Mike Elias, at least with the Orioles, so Mike Elias has been blessed to have a top 5 picks, right? Now have top picks in the draft now for the 3rd straight year. And it looks like the way this year's going, for 4 straight years, have top picks in the draft. So you can't miss. Speaking of which, it's a little bit concerning, not to switch gears completely here, but still no sighting of Hurston Kjerstad. Still has yet to play a professional game. Apparently he's in Sarasota working out, but is yet to play a professional game. And to me, that's concerning.
Okay, good, because I don't care. Okay. I don't see this as concerning at all. I'm not worried about this.
But the top pick in last year's draft for the Orioles hasn't played a game yet? Okay.
No concern. Because why hasn't he played? Medical issues, right?
Yes.
Yeah. What has every single person on this planet had an issue with for the past 15 months? Medical issues. I get it.
But not to the point where it takes you out of your profession for this long a period of time.
What are you talking about? Lots of people have been working from home for a year. It's affected a lot of people's professions. And you don't know. It's not like he can't play. He's in Sarasota. He's playing, just working his way up.
Okay. I mean, we don't know, right? The number 10th pick overall in last year's draft, and no one has seen or heard from him since the draft, pretty much since COVID. And so, and if you swing and miss on that, it kind of hurts. And so we'll see. And we hope he's healthy, right? That's his health above all. And we hope it's crazy to me that it takes this long to get back into health. But again, we don't know his personal information and what kind of health effects he's dealing with related to COVID. But I just find it odd, right, that he still hasn't played a professional day. But maybe it's no big deal. Maybe you're right, and in the long run, he'll be fine. I hope so.
I mean, yeah, sure. I hope so.
We could use another good outfield bat.
Right.
But more than that, we hope for his health.
And so Kjerstad's medical thing is myocarditis, which is inflammation of the heart.
Carditis, yes.
So I assume
this is the same thing Eduardo Rodriguez struggled with.
Right. It's something that they can deal with. But it's just going to take some time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the severity of it, I'm sure, varies.
But is this worse than if he, I don't know, broke his arm?
I don't know.
Or a sore shoulder or
I don't know.
Tommy John, we've been through this with process effects before.
See, I have no idea.
All right. So you're saying I got to go to Sarasota with some binoculars this weekend?
I just would, if anyone can give eyes on him or an interview or something, like there hasn't been even an interview or like a picture or something.
Yeah. If I was Kjerstad,
because he had a beard. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You're right.
Does he have long hair? Is he going the Hunter Harvey route? I don't know. I just want to see him.
I don't know. Is he on social media?
Yeah, he tweeted out. I saw. He did tweet for the first time in a while. I think some College World Series stuff. Speaking of outfielders, though, to transition again.
May 28th. He's on a date.
Yeah.
So all right. So he's safe. He can have ice cream.
Okay. He Yusniel Diaz. Speaking of health factors in minor leaguers, Yusniel Diaz is said to be working out again. So hopefully Yusniel Diaz, that's a guy who still have. This is one of the guys. I don't know if this is a hill I'm going to die on, but guys I really like just because I saw him in spring training one year and saw him jack some home runs. I'm a Yusniel Diaz guy. So so Yusniel Diaz getting healthy. I hope he can get healthy fast, and I hope he makes it to the majors this year. Yusniel Diaz.
I mean, he's going to be in Bowie, tomorrow?
Norfolk. He's at Norfolk. I'm talking about using ideas.
Bowie. He's in Bowie.
Oh, is he doing rehab in Bowie?
He's doing rehab in Bowie.
Okay.
So he's in Bowie, and hopefully that means move him up to Norfolk. And guess what? This team, Stewart's been hitting the ball decent recently, but I would love to see Diaz get a shot up here. You're right. I think our outfield could use him.
Yeah, I agree, and I agree. Before we talk about the Major League squad, because I do want to talk about our lineup tonight and kind of what's going on with Hayes, which I think is interesting. Before we get there, though, one more note about the minor leagues. Tomorrow, the Bowie Baysox come back home. The Bowie Baysox.
Oh, I got questions for you about this.
Now so Josh, here's what happened. I saw the Bowie Baysox. I thought Grayson Rodriguez was starting. Grayson Rodriguez last week was promoted to being the number one pitching prospect in all of baseball. That's right, boys and girls. The Orioles have the number one pitching prospect in all of baseball, and he's throwing to the number 2 overall prospect in all of baseball, Adley Rutschman. Oh, and by the way, this is on a team that has the best record in all of minor league baseball, the Bowie Baysox.
Right.
All that being said, I saw that and I texted, my dad, said, "Hey, Dad, Grayson Rodriguez, number one pitching prospect in baseball."
Yeah, he's my dad too.
Pitching on Tuesday. I call him Dad. I don't know what you call him.
Right.
And I said, "You want to go?" And he said, "That sounds like fun, sure." So I was going to be Silas. And then this morning, Josh, this morning around 8 a.m., I got a text from the Zany one, just out of the blue. I got a text from Bert Rohde, and I don't know how long. And Bert just texted me saying, "Hey, I was thinking about going to see Grayson Rodriguez on tomorrow. Do you want to go?" I said, "Bert, I'm already going. I got some tickets. Let's go."
All right, so you already have tickets, and you're going with Matt. You're going with Dad and Bert and Silas.
Bought tickets today. Got some good tickets. I didn't know what would be available.
So I guess
pretty pleased with my tickets. I got.
So you don't want this press pass?
I got a press pass.
Yeah. Do you want it? Or
No,
you're taking Silas?
I'm taking Silas. Yeah.
All right. They said Rodriguez wouldn't be available to media beforehand anyway, since he's pitching. But they are doing their Baysox are opening up to media for the first time tomorrow in person. If you want to sit down with Buck Britton, Justin Ramsey, or Adley Rutschman.
Nice. And Josh, this has the feel of a big game, right? It's the Baysox coming home. People are starting to get excited.
The Orioles are in promotion. Yes. And the Orioles are in Cleveland.
Orioles are away, and they're not playing well.
This is going to be, this is where all the media is going to be. Tomorrow night, Rock.
And all the Oriole fans.
They're all going to be there. And Oriole fans, too. But it's going to be like I think of it like years ago, was it Chris Tillman who was having a rehab game there, and it was packed and there was excitement for a rehab game because it was Chris Tillman.
This is different though, right? This is we've never had. This is the number one pitching prospect thrown to the number 2 overall prospect for the best team in all of minor league baseball, full of top 100 prospects, like full of our top prospects. This feel is new, Josh. This is new.
Yes, and that what it is it's a preview of what we'll get to feel at Camden Yards in a couple of years.
I hope so.
But you got to help me out with this one because I follow Baysox on Twitter.
Yes.
And for a couple of days now, they've been teasing this Gas Up Tuesday to bring a gas can decorated.
Yes.
An unused gas can. Now, apparently Amazon's all out of gas cans. I don't think that's because of Grayson Rodriguez.
It may be because of Grayson Rodriguez.
That might be because of other stuff going on in the world.
Okay.
But what does the empty gas can have to do with Grayson Rodriguez?
I'm glad you asked because this is a question I've had to respond. Not to say it just happened to be multiple women. Just for whatever reason, the women have asked me. Whatever.
Wait. Do you really know? Because I honestly have no clue what this is about.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really don't know.
Oh, so this is. I'll tell you.
I'm confused.
I don't want to give credit out because I'm not the kind of guy to give credit out. But this is a brainchild of Eric RDT from Barstool Sports, friend of the show.
He seems to get everything.
Yeah. And that's why I don't want to give men more credit because he always gets enough credit. Yeah. And also a brainchild of Ryan Blake with Orioles fans problems. Oriole problem fans, Orioles, the fans, Oriole problems have.
O's fans problems.
O's fans problems. So Eric RDT was doing this whole thing with gas as far as like, because Grayson Rodriguez is like the gas man because he throws so much heat, right? He throws so much gas and heat. Right. This is what I was trying to explain to my wife and to a couple other people, like that, gas cans because he throws gas, which means he throws the ball really hard. But I was just having a really hard time explaining that.
All right.
But are you with me so far, Josh?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right, and then I think O's fans' problems. I think they had the idea of, hey, let's show up to the game with a bunch of gas cans for the gas man because he throws so much gas. And then Bowie kind of got behind it and said, yeah, absolutely, let's do it. That's, I think, how the thing started.
All right, I don't like it, and I love it at the same time.
Yeah, it's stupid and corny, but
it's really stupid. It's really corny. But I'm going to have the Baysox game on TV tomorrow because I want to see everyone waving gas cans around and banging gas cans.
Yeah, and the Baysox had like this competition, like the best decorated, they're all in on it. Best decorated one has to get $50.
Here's what they got to do. They need to do like $2 fill-ups for your gas can at the beer stations. So that
I saw some people tweeting about
out
this.
Of the gas cans.
Yeah, or sell little mini gas things that you can drink out of.
Exactly. Like they need to figure that out and take that to the next level. You've seen the minor league beer bat?
The beer bat, yes.
The beer bats are cool.
They're a little weird to me, but okay. Yeah.
Gas cans are even weirder and take it to another level. And I love it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my question is, so we're keeping this as gas cans and we're trying to keep it linked with Grayson Rodriguez.
Yes, the gas man. I don't know. Is he called the gas man? I
have
know
no
he's
idea.
called the gas man, but because he throws gas.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I want this to be linked with him so that suddenly at Camden Yards in a couple of years, we're all celebrating with all these gas stuff. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know if Camden Yards would be as lenient as the Bowie Baysox as far as letting gas cans in, but
right. And then yeah. And how do you? It also sounds very dangerous.
Well, I think the next level is if he's really throwing gas. Let's not empty gas cans. Let's get some gasoline in there. Let's light some stuff on fire to really represent the gas he's throwing.
I need pyro when he comes in.
Yeah. Forget this.
You know what this
pie in the face. Pie in the face that we're just do. That's kid stuff.
No. Set the mound on fire.
That's right.
This is turning into, and I love it, and this is what I want in minor league baseball. And I don't know how this will transition to Major League Baseball, but I want more zaniness in minor league baseball. This is turning into the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah.
The Savannah Bananas got a little highlight reel on ESPN this week. Did you see why?
No, why?
They had a guy in a Bananas uniform, but on stilts. So he was super tall, and he hit the ball and ran down to first base.
All right, very cool.
So, all right, I like it. Gas can, bring the gas can.
Yeah.
You have your gas can ready.
Yeah, and it's corny, but also, Josh, at the same time, this is not the Savannah Bananas. There is some real, legitimate kind of excitement and little firecrackers in the air about what's happening at Bowie.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That's what's cool about it, is the exciting. That's why I say I'm going to turn that game on TV tomorrow, because it's going to be a fun crowd.
Yeah.
Because everyone who's coming there is coming to see Grayson Rodriguez, because everyone who's coming understands that this is the future.
Yes, they're Baltimore Orioles fans coming to watch Bowie because of the Baltimore Orioles.
Right. It's not people who are going there because tickets are cheap or because it's in Bowie. Or as Cody says, Bowie.
Yeah, but my tickets were cheap, by the way. I cashed in my vouchers.
All right, and more minor league games are cheap. When I went to the Jumbo Shrimps, it was $5.
Oh, see, this is like $15 if I didn't have my vouchers.
So I was going to go on Saturday night to see Bradish.
Kyle Bradish.
Yeah. And I found a seat available, and it was like $25 because I wanted to be behind home plate for it. But then I looked the next day, and the whole stadium was sold out. You know why? What causes a baseball team to sell out the entire stadium?
There was a bobblehead giveaway.
Not a bobblehead giveaway. Last time I went to the Jumbo Shrimp game, it was a bobblehead giveaway. But what's another popular giveaway that you would do on a Saturday night in the summer?
I don't know. Koozies.
What's the most popular giveaway the Orioles do?
Hawaiian shirts.
Ding, ding, ding. It was Jumbo Shrimp Hawaiian shirt night, so it was sold out. So.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I was surprised. I called the box office because, by the way, the website wasn't showing many open seats, so I called the box office, see if I can get 5 seats together. I got in the first row, Josh. The first row, right by the dugout.
Oh, you must have told him who you were.
And they didn't have anything available on the website there, but when I called, it was available.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know.
Hold on. Either they knew who you were, or you accidentally bought tickets for Wednesday.
Oh shoot! I'm gonna go back and check my tickets.
Might want to check those tickets.
Well, I think maybe because the website. I think the website might still be like COVID friendly, because he asked me, he's like, "Are you okay? I sitting in the middle of the aisle with two groups on either side of you." I said, "Yeah, I don't care." So maybe the website's still COVID friendly.
Is Bowie like open up to normal now?
Yeah.
Camden Yards is full now, right? I mean, no one never goes.
There's no restrictions.
Okay. All right.
And even now on TV and the Jumbotron, they'll show people who don't have masks on, and they wouldn't do that before, but now they will.
Do you not need masks anymore?
You don't. I don't know if you don't need masks anymore, to be honest. But no one sitting down is wearing masks.
You want to know a little secret? Well, I haven't worn a mask since the last time I was in Baltimore. Haven't had a need to put it on since then. It's been like 4 or 5 weeks.
I just checked, and Bowie Baysox versus the Akron Rubber Ducks, Tuesday, June 15th, 6:35. You'll find me in section 109, row A. Okay? And the Zany one will be with me. So if you want to come say hi, you can say hi to the Zany one.
All right, yeah, ask him why he's not on the show anymore.
Yeah, please do.
I should just start sending him invites every week to be on the show, and one day he'll click on the link.
Yeah, just put it in the email.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, a couple more things I want to get to. I want to talk briefly. I want to get to the kind of Austin Hayes. Well, I don't really care that much about the major league team. Can we talk about this whole thing with Major League Baseball cracking down on illegal substances? I heard Jeff Passan.
Yes.
Talking about it.
Is he still with Yahoo?
I don't know who he's with, but sometimes he goes on the Tony Kornheiser podcast, which I hear him on. But anyway, and I like him. I think Jeff Passan's he's good. He's not Kirchin, who's my favorite, but he's pretty good.
But as far as MLB reporters, he's good.
Yeah, he's good. He's a good sense of humor about him. Anyway, he said one source told him as high as 90% of pitchers use substances on the mound. He said that seemed high to him. He thought it probably closer to about 70%. But still, Josh, it seems like the majority of pitchers are using this stuff. You think it's 100?
Yeah, and I think it's 100% of batters that use it. This is, I don't know. I get a little irritated by this whole conversation.
Oh, so we're on completely different pages on this, I think.
You don't care.
No, I care big time. I think pitchers should be punished severely for this.
All right. Well, here's my deal. What's your definition of substance? Because there is something where you need to have a little sticky stuff on your hand to control the ball. And when you're throwing that hard, I don't think the extra spin rate and stuff is from the substance. I think it's because Major League Baseball, once again, screwed up the baseball and has these high seams.
Oh, Josh, now look at it. Garrett Cole, they looked at his starts. The guy down in the Dodgers, Trevor Bauer, they looked at his starts. Previous starts, his spin rate, the most recent starts, when they've been cracking down on this, has gone down significantly by like 20%, the spin rate. I think they're going to see across the board. Spin rates are going to start to go down.
All right. Jeff Passan's ESPN now, by the way.
Okay. Yahoo, I don't think is still a thing.
All right. So, but still, you want pitchers to control themselves. You don't want them to hit it. Here's what
they have a rosin bag back there.
I get that. And in Japan, they pre-sticky the balls.
Okay.
What I don't like is Josh Donaldson wearing like a bulletproof vest going up to the plate because he feels like he's the whistleblower of this whole thing. While meanwhile, how much pine tar is he putting on his hands and on his gloves to hold on to that baseball bat? I think if you want pitchers to not use substance, then you don't use substance either, because pitchers will put a little dab on the brim of their hat or in their glove, and meanwhile, every batter has 2 pounds of pine tar on their helmets. I don't understand why there's so much pine tar in batters.
You think that the pitchers using this spider tack, whatever they call it, to give them super spin rates is equivalent to pine tar on a batter's bat so he doesn't throw the bat in the stands?
The pitcher, it's not about spin rate. It's about control.
It's all about spin rate. You're missing this, Josh, completely. It's all about zero to do with control. Zero to do with control, 100% to do with spin rate. You're telling me they would hit every single batter if they didn't have this thing on their fingers?
No, but they'd hit more. They'd hit more, especially in the beginning of the season when it's cold out and it's tough to get a grip on that ball.
That's silly. You have pitchers who have freaking labs to develop the most stickiest substance
You
that
have
they can
baseball
use.
players that have labs with their own crap.
Right,
They're all doing it.
and
Everyone's
occasionally
cheating.
you have Sammy Sosa with a corked bat, and he gets punished when he's found out to have a corked bat. You also had this thing with steroids, and you had to crack down on that. This is the next thing you have to crack down on. It's illegal.
If you're
Pitchers
gonna
are getting
crack down
admitted.
on
And by the way, check out the landscape of baseball. It's not fun when pitchers dominate. It's just not fun baseball. And so stop having them use these illegal spin rates to spin the ball in a ridiculous way. Clean up the substances, and let's make the game more fun again.
All right, you got me with let's make the game fun again. All right, but if you want,
I know, because I was alluding to a similar catchphrase that you're a fan of, so I knew you'd get behind that. Go ahead.
If you want to clean up the substance on the pitchers, I think you need to clean up stuff at the plate as well.
Okay, I don't. What are you talking about? The plate? What's happening? The banging the trash cans? Yeah, they should clean that up. What are you talking about? The pine tar on the handle of the bat?
I don't know.
What does that do? What advantage does a hitter have?
Do you know the last Oriole to get suspended? Last Oriole pitcher to get suspended for substance?
I think it was Armando Benitez.
Nope.
Am I wrong on that?
Nope.
No. Oh, it was
on his arm. Got an 8-game suspension.
Yes. Who was this? It was recent, right? Tommy Hunter, maybe, or Bud Norris? Was it one of those guys?
Nope.
I remember the game. Shoot, who was that?
A guy that you always wanted to work out as a starter, but ended up more of a bullpen specialist.
Not Brian Mattis.
It's Brian Mattis.
Really?
It was Brian Mattis.
I remember the whole thing on the arm.
Yeah, 2015. Brian Mattis got an 8-game suspension for foreign substance on his arm.
Yeah, like the rule is now, like that's still illegal. You just can't be dumb with it, right? Yeah. Like that guy for the Yankees had it all on the bill of his hat or on your arm. Right. Like you just got to be more subtle with it.
Do you think that's what's helping John Means with the little substance in the glove?
I mean, I don't know. Like I don't. Everyone says all the pitchers for the Mets have sworn that Jacob deGrom doesn't use it, and I kind of believe them. But I'm more of a sucker, right? Like I'm a sucker when Rafael Palmeiro said he didn't do steroids. I was like, all right, dude, you didn't do steroids. I'm more of a sucker to believe people. It's just the way I am. So I want to assume that John Means isn't doing it. Though, in fairness, no one really cares about John Means, right? Because he's on the Orioles. People only care about Garrett Cole and Trevor Bauer because they're on these big market teams. But I'm happy about it. I don't want pitchers to do these stupid spin rates. I want hitters to be able to hit the ball occasionally. I think the game is getting kind of out of hand with these spin rates. I think some of it's coaching and analytics, but some of it is also the advancement of these substances where I think they used to use like sunscreen and pine tar, and now it's gone to a whole new level.
Sure, and I get that. I get that once it goes to specific stuff made for that, I understand that. But yeah, I also think it goes on both sides. I think batters do adjust their bats and different weights of their bats and adjust gloves and stuff to give them an advantage. I think,
but right now the pitchers are winning.
An advantage.
Pitchers are winning right now, though.
Yeah, and last year
that's not fun.
But last year the hitters were winning.
Yeah, and a lot had to do with the ball,
right?
Is
it the substance or is it the ball?
Yeah. Well, MLB seems to think it has a lot to do with the substance, right? Yeah, or they want to be cracking down on this,
right? But they were using the same substances last year. It's not like a new vendor came out with a new sticky substance this year. I've been watching Shark Tank all year. No one had anything on there about stuff for pitchers.
Yeah, I think just the reaction to this movement has been a little bit slower, but I think this has kind of been a building thing over the past few years. The timing is weird. I agree. The timing is weird, right? Like this is mid-season, the year before this whole bargaining debate, and so it's a weird time to bring such a controversial thing to the forefront.
Yes.
I mean, it's basically like the easy thing would be to ignore it, right? So the fact that he's confronting this, I feel like is an acknowledgement that this is a problem. And we always talk, Josh, about how you should always be making changes for the betterment of the game.
Yes.
And this feels like a betterment of the game issue.
I agree.
It's better the game when pitchers aren't doing silly stuff with the ball.
But the timing's weird. When they first decided to crack down on this, they collected a bunch of balls to send to a lab for analysis.
Right. Most of them came from Trevor Bauer.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they just hate him. Right. If Trevor Bauer wasn't such a jerk about everything, this probably would never have been a thing.
So it seems the timing is what's weird to me. doing this mid-season, not something to evaluate. It seems like it falls in line with everything else in our culture today, where something gets hot on Twitter and corporations feel like they need to respond.
Oh my gosh, Josh, this is not a woke move. This is not. I mean,
I'm not saying it's a woke move, but I'm saying it's the same type of reaction.
Well, I mean, I agree that video, everyone, John Boy over with the Yankees, everybody else being able to make videos of these pitchers, even with John Means, is bringing this thing to the forefront. But Josh, I mean, if you just think about it, right? Like if you want to, the problem with baseball right now is this whole 3 outcome thing and the strikeout rates and all this thing.
Right.
Oh, and by the way, one of the guys who's been kind of the best at doing this, and I mean striking people out, and I also mean cheating, is Garrett Cole. Did you see the Garrett Cole interview?
No.
Oh my gosh. Go watch when Garrett Cole was interviewed and he was asked point blank, were you using this spider tack, whatever they call it? Have you ever used a spider tack? Josh, it is one of the most entertaining responses you'll ever see in your life. It was like when we asked the intern back in the day a question. He's over there going, it was unbelievable. And anything that makes Garrett Cole look stupid, as he's a Yankee now and one of the highest paid players in baseball, I'm a fan of. So if it's going to make Garrett Cole come down to earth a little bit, I'm all on board about it.
I'm on board. I'm always on board with making the game better. I'm always on board with that. Now, if we can get rid of the substance and that takes away the talk of moving the mound, then that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah.
But with making as a mid-season change, when you've allowed this for years, feels like the steroid era, where we all knew for years it was steroids, and suddenly Major League Baseball is cracking down on it. But they didn't do it mid-season. They didn't say, while McGuire and Sosa are going for 70 home runs, they didn't say in June, hey, guys, no more steroids. Let's settle down. So it seems weird to do a mid-season reaction to this. Especially when I get that we're having more no-hitters than ever this year.
Yeah.
But we're also seeing a lot of high-scoring games. So there's some dominant pitchers, and there's also some just crap out there. And I don't think we see more no-hitters because of the spider tack stuff you're talking about. I think we see more no-hitters.
Certainly not, because John Means would never do that. And he had a no-hitter.
I think we see more no-hitters because of the approach at the plate of the all-or-nothing approach.
Right, but Josh, you're smart enough to know that there are always, with anything, multiple factors that influence something, right?
Right.
And that could be one of the factors.
Yeah, but it seems extreme to try to change something mid-season.
Can I just play for you through my microphone Garrett Cole's response to spider tack?
Yeah, sure.
All right, that's just so funny.
I don't know. I don't know if I don't quite know how to answer that, to be honest. I mean, there are customs and practices that have been passed down from older players to younger players from the last generation.
All right, then he talks a little more. But there was that just awkward pause. I don't know. And then like he's on Zoom, and it's like Zoom, like where it's not just like it's just him, his face, right? Saying, all right, just great. Yeah. So isn't that enjoyable to see Garrett Cole struggle not to be able to answer a question?
Yeah, I like that. By the way, you can go on Amazon and buy some spider tack. I feel like we need to do a little experiment. Can I climb walls like Spider-Man with spider tack?
No, but your spin rate will go through the roof.
What do you think a guy like Buck Showalter would say about this?
Yeah, because this is if 70% conservatively or 70% of pitchers are using it, it's one of those things where managers don't call other managers about it, right? Because if you call someone else out, your own dude's doing it, you're going to get in trouble here. So this is why this thing's allowed to kind of perpetuate, because no one wants to call out to get their own guys in trouble.
Right. So he says, this all started when guys were having trouble gripping the ball in April, May, when it's cold and the ball is
this a quote
slick.
from Buck?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
So we put this arcade. Here's how you know it's Buck. I wish I had the audio to play, but you can just tell from the structure. when the ball was cold, was slick. So we put this archaic thing called mud on it. And think about it. Still, we're putting that on it. It's kind of evolved, and they see there's an edge. And anybody that doesn't know they knew some of it wasn't going on is being less than truthful. So then he talked about some times with Trevor Bauer and all. But then he says for Josh Donaldson, what I'd like to see is Josh Donaldson go to home plate and hit without bat and gloves or pine tar tonight. If he really wants to prove a point, go up there and really not be able to grip a bat tonight.
I would be all for it. I'd be all for getting rid of bat and gloves and getting rid of that and getting rid of pitcher. Like just have a ball and a bat, boys and girls. Let's just play some baseball.
So you liked that. You thought Garrett Cole looked stupid in that response. So they asked Showalter after that, what did you think of Cole? And Showalter said, I think he handled it well. He didn't at any point didn't want to not be truthful. Sometimes you have to be careful of telling the truth that you might hurt innocent people instead of saying something that might be proven to not be completely true.
Hey, you know what? That's true. To Garrett Cole's credit, he didn't lie. He said, I don't know how to answer that. That's a pretty honest and truthful response. Yeah, I buy that.
And he goes on to say, just make a standard like pine tar rag and put it on there on the mound. Which brings me to the point of that the little, what's the thing that they have back there now? Is it just powder?
It's a rosin bag. Just for like sweat. Just dry
just for sweat. So I'm fine with upgrading the rosin bag.
To have something consistent, that everyone uses.
And I'm fine with if we get that special mud out of Delaware to rub the balls down.
Yeah.
I'm fine with if you mix that mud with a little sticky substance. Let's just make it fair and make it legit and everything the same, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I agree. As long as we're consistent and we're not doing anything kind of super out of bounds. Though,
let's get rid of the substance and go back to scuffing balls.
Yeah, and I like Garrett Cole's response. The more I think about it, I'm gonna start using that in my parenting. When Silas asks me an awkward question,
I don't know
about where babies come from or something. I don't know how to answer that, Silas.
Yeah, I feel like I might need to add that to my soundboard here.
Yeah,
just the beginning of that I don't know.
Yeah. When we're stuck on a question here, something awkward comes up. If I try to go too political with it, you can just hit that button.
Right. That's why I held back on comparing that statement to other press conferences I've seen. Didn't want to make it political.
Oh, good for you, Josh.
Yeah,
you're growing. You're gonna help our reviews out too. I appreciate it.
No, I already screwed up by saying I didn't wear a mask for 5 weeks or whatever.
Yeah, Josh, the only way we get 1-star reviews is if you say stuff like that.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what your sports content is.
Exactly.
Any thoughts? We're running out of time here. Any thoughts on the lineup tonight? I saw Franco and Hayes. According to Manager Hyde, no injuries, just
this generation of players.
Oh, sorry, I just turned my phone again. No, that's cool again. Mr. Sons. No injuries, just kind of a day's rest for Hayes and Franco. You buy it?
It's just funny. It's what we used to call the Sunday lineup because no Hayes, no Franco. It'll be interesting to see if the Orioles can keep the game close if he brings those guys in late. Because right now we got Steve Wilkinson at second, Valleca at third, Mountcastle at first, and Stewart in left. So it's just a weird
and Stewart batting. I think he's been cleanup tonight, right?
Yeah. And it's just a weird lineup when you know you have better players on the bench. Yeah. And I get that you're going to go about 21 games without a day off, but you just had 2 days off this past week. So guys are pretty fresh right now.
Yeah, like now the beginning of it is not the rest of them. It's like in the middle of it. It's been the rest. I think Hayes, just because his history, I expect Hayes to play about 4 or 5 days a week. And I think I'm going to sit Hayes a lot.
I would have had Hayes in the lineup today just to show that he didn't hurt himself on the turf this weekend.
Yeah, I like to see Hayes play some DH. Because I know his arm is great, but just health reasons. Not play DH every now and then.
Right, but you know that you play a series on turf and then you take Hayes out, people are going to be questioning if Hayes is hurt.
Oh, and on Sunday there was a ball that it looked like he tweaked something, and Manager Hyde even mentioned in the postgame. Yep. So I also it doesn't matter, but I would rather see wins behind the plate every time over Severino. But it doesn't matter, but I just would rather see wins.
I agree with that. I'm all about wins.
Yeah, I am about wins too.
Yeah.
I also would rather see Jermaine Jones up here playing second base.
Is he
I think
doing
he's
okay in Norfolk?
Yeah, he's been pretty good since coming back from the injury. Not great, not like lighting the world on fire. Like Adley Rutschman, the fact that he's in Bowie is at this point a joke.
No.
It's a joke.
Yeah, he's there. He's there to work with the pitchers.
I can't think of any other reason why he's there.
It's got to be because how funny would it be if the Orioles promoted him to Norfolk tomorrow?
I'd be so mad. I
know.
Let him stay for one more game. No, I think they should promote honestly, I would just promote the entire Bowie squad to Norfolk and send Norfolk to Bowie. Just do a switch of squad.
That gets awkward though. At what point do you just bring up your entire rotation? Just swap them.
Yeah, I know. Seriously, I don't know.
So.
But yeah, we're still, and that's what's hard too, right? And this is why you have to invest in the minors because it's weird because you mentioned how we don't have our best lineup in there, just organizationally. All our best players now, like Grayson Rodriguez.
No, if you wanted to win,
is our best. He's our number one and number two. Like maybe you could fight about John Means, who's better, John Means, Grayson Rodriguez, but that's our number one, number two starter right now. I think Rutschman's our best catcher. So many of our position players are best position
today, and the Orioles are better.
What's that?
You bring both those guys up today, and the Orioles are better.
Yeah, like there are probably half our rotation and half of our lineup. There are better players in the minors than are playing for the Orioles right now.
That would be perfectly fine in the majors now.
Yes, that would perform as well or better than who's playing in the majors now.
Correct. That's what's irritating.
I mean, I bet Gunnar Henderson's 19. I bet he could put up just as good numbers as Franco at third base.
I really like Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah, I think he's going to be something special.
I agree, and I would like to see 20-year-old Gunnar Henderson up in the majors. I want to see him as a young kid up here.
Yeah, that's what he's still stuck in Delmarva, but he's got to get moving.
I know. They're moving him slow, but I like him.
Yeah, I do too. So this would be my first minor league game this year. So I'll come back with some notes next week for what I see.
All right, that's cool.
If Bowie doesn't win 20-0, it's going to be a disappointment.
Well, I think
if Rutschman doesn't have 3 home runs and Rodriguez doesn't have 20 strikeouts, I'm going to be mad.
Right, you're going to see a no-hitter tomorrow, right?
I better. All right. You want to get to ball 4 or you're going to get out of here?
I mean, do you have anything particular for ball 4? I watched a couple movies. They were both not good.
I watched a new show. I haven't watched a new show in a while. I'm watching 2 new shows now.
All right, let's do a little. Oh, and I was thinking, we always call it ball 4. Yeah. Because, it was a new segment. But I was thinking maybe instead of calling it ball 4, we should bring back an old segment title for it.
You're just a ball bag, my friend.
It's been many years.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
So can we change ball 4 to the ball bag?
All right, let's call it the ball bag. And our balls include no illegal substances. There's no goop on our balls.
Actually, let's keep it ball 4. That's a bad decision. Fine. Because the whole reason we went with ball 4 is because it's outside the zone. It's not baseball stuff related. Let's save ball bag for some
baseball questions,
baseball topics. Yeah.
We should use a ball bag for sure like this when there's the Orioles stink and there's not a lot to talk about.
Yeah, well, and that's what we did. We went all foreign substances. We've been all over the place. This was a ball bag type of a show.
Talked a lot of minors. Yeah.
Yeah. This was a ball bag show. That's exactly what. So, all right, let's do a little ball 4.
I started watching Defending Jacob on Apple TV. You watch that show?
I watched that like last year. Whenever.
Am I late on this? Is that a year old? I'm sorry. I just heard someone talking about it, so I started watching it.
Oh yeah, you're late on it.
Okay, I'm like 4 episodes in. It's good.
All right. No, I like that. You're good. Have you watched the Nicole Kidman show over on HBO?
The Little Things Hurt Me or something?
The Undoing?
No, I thought that was Little Things or Hurt Things.
No, that's like Reese Witherspoon or something.
Okay. They're all the same.
Maybe it's in both.
I thought Nicole Kidman was in that one too.
Maybe not. She might be. Okay. After Defending Jacob, watch The Undoing.
I thought Nicole Kidman was a movie star. What are these movie stars doing television shows for? Back in my day, a movie star was a movie star. They did movies.
Have you seen where money is right now?
Yeah, I guess there's not a lot of movies being made.
Right. Streaming is where it's at for money. No, but I like Defending Jacob. I'll get behind that. If you want to stay on the Apple TV thing, I'll watch that Moon one. The Moon show is good too for All Mankind.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I've heard things about that. I'm going to watch that one.
Pretty good too.
Yeah. Is that your ball 1? Ball 2?
No, I'll say ball 1. I watched 2. I'm going to combine my balls
Okay.
today because I watched 2 movies this weekend. I watched Spiral with Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson.
Never heard of it. Okay.
It is. It's the new Saw movie as part of the Saw franchise.
Oh, because they got tired of doing Saw 7, Saw 8, Saw 9.
Yeah.
They just call it Spiral. I got you.
Right. So did you ever watch the old Saw movies?
No. I've never seen any of them.
Me either, because I don't like that torture.
I know the premise.
Stuff.
Yeah, they find different ways to torture and kill people.
And
I know the
who
premise.
Jigsaw is and all that.
Yes.
But
yes,
I like,
that clown-looking guy, yeah.
Right. But I like Chris Rock.
Yeah, that's some big-name actors, yeah.
Yeah, so I decided to watch it. And it was, it's okay.
Okay.
It was good. You know what? I'd probably like it if it wasn't for all the torture.
Yeah, that doesn't appeal to me at all. Seeing people get tortured is not my idea of a fun for Saturday night.
But that was the good movie I watched this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Have you seen commercials for this movie, Infinite, with Mark Wahlberg?
No, never heard of it. I know Mark Wahlberg.
It's Mark Wahlberg's new action
I like Mark Wahlberg. He's a good actor.
I like Mark Wahlberg also.
Yeah.
And it made a big deal that this one got pulled from movie theaters, and instead you have to have the Paramount network.
Oh, but is that a woke thing? Cancel culture? That's cool.
They were saying it was because of COVID, but I watched the movie this weekend. It's because it's crap. It's because it's confusing. I have no clue what was going on. Did you see Tenet?
No.
Another movie that is confusing. No idea what's going on in the entire movie. When I watch an action movie, I want to turn my brain off, and I just want to see fast cars, things explode, and people shoot each other.
Yeah. Fast and Furious.
All that stuff was in this movie. But I have no clue. The storyline makes no sense. It's something about reincarnation and something, and I don't know what's going on. So avoid that one. But if you like torture stuff, watch Spiral.
Okay, I'm not watching either of those. I'll go for my last one. My last one, I'll go with another Apple TV show I'm enjoying. This is the other show. I'm watching 2 shows right now. The Defending Jake I'm watching with Emily, with my wife. This is the show we're watching now. And we can handle one show together at a time. This other show I'm watching by myself because Emily would never watch it. And that's Lisey's Story. Have you seen anything about this?
I don't even know what that is. Never heard of it.
Okay, it's based on a Stephen King novel, Josh. So you should get behind this.
I'm in.
It's on Apple TV.
Here's what annoys me about Apple TV. Are all the episodes out?
Yeah, I didn't know. See, like Defending Jacob, I thought I was just watching it, and all the episodes out. Lisey's Story, I got to episode 3, and I can't watch it anymore.
That's irritating. Apple does that, and one of the other streaming people do that too. It's annoying.
Yeah, well, Hulu does it too because I'm doing The Handmaid's Tale, and now I stopped watching Handmaid's Tale because I want to have a bunch of episodes, so I'm just waiting.
Right. Oh, Disney's the other one that's doing that because I watched the Loki show, which I liked.
Oh yeah, I had to stop watching that one show with the mental guy, with the guy who could move things with his mind or something. What was that show?
WandaVision?
WandaVision. I had to stop watching that because I never finished it.
Oh well, that's all out now. So you can, now that it's 2 years late, you can go watch it.
All right.
And Winter Soldier's out there now too. All of that. The new one started this week, Loki, which was good. That was my good thing I watched this week.
There's a new Star Wars thing out there too, right? I want to get on that on Disney.
I so dislike Star Wars.
Oh, I like all the Star Wars subplots. I haven't even seen all the Star Wars movies, but I watch all these kind of sub stories that I think are really well done. Like the one for Disney that they had out, I thought was really good.
The Mandalorian?
No, The Mandalorian I thought was excellent.
I watched the first episode and fell asleep.
You watch what?
I watched the first episode and I fell asleep.
See, I don't even know all the Star Wars stories, but I thought that was...
I don't think it matters. I've seen all the Star Wars movies. I don't like any of them. Yeah, I don't know. I hate Star Wars. I've seen all the movies, saw some of them in theaters, and I'm not a Star Wars.
All right, fine. All right, I'm not dressing up in any outfits, but I just think some of the stories are entertaining.
No, I like the Marvel. I like the comic book stuff.
All right, fine.
All right, well, let's get out of here. I had something else, but I'm blanked now that my computer screwed up.
Well, it's your ball 4. Shoot. You already gave away 4 things. You could have saved one of them for your ball 4.
I gave away 3 things, I think.
Well, you also talked about, how you like Defending Jacob. You also mentioned Americans or something.
You want a ball 4? I'll help you out with some TV recommendations.
This other Apple TV show.
I got you. I got you. Here you go.
The moon landing one?
Here you go.
Yeah, okay.
Did you like Silicon Valley on HBO?
Love that show. Very funny.
On Apple TV, check out Mythic Quest.
Okay, Mythic
Quest. If you like Silicon Valley, you'll probably like Mythic's Quest. It's about nerds making a video game.
All right.
So check that one out. There's my ball 4.
I'll check it out. I can't watch any more Lisi's stories because none have come out, but so I'll watch that while I'm waiting.
All right, and I'm going to find a way so that next week my ball 4 has nothing to do with TV or movies, because I'm pretty sure ball 4 is our TV and movie segment.
Well, not for me. It's rarely. Not for me. I haven't watched. It stopped school, so I'm able to watch TV again. So this is new for me. Going TV route.
Gotcha.
But I got some more books I could talk about next week that I've been reading.
Did you hear Jim Palmer this weekend on one of the broadcasts talk about how he used to hit?
He used to
hit playing pre-DH, and how he would hit, and how he would occasionally pinch run.
Oh, no, I missed that.
Yeah, it was Jim Palmer talking about how great Jim Palmer is.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what Jim Palmer does best.
That's why I'm bringing it up. I loved it.
Yeah, I like it too. All right. Well, if you want to talk not about Jim Palmer, talk about Section 336, you can talk about us when you write us a review on iTunes.
Yeah. Give us a review on iTunes. Apparently, iTunes is launching something through that podcast app tomorrow where you can, subscribe to premium shows or something. So so we're gonna put some stuff up there. We're gonna put up the a few old episodes, put up the Africa Matt Dyan story and stuff like that. Our supporter episodes we're gonna put up on there. So if you use that app, go ahead and check that out. I'm not sure how it'll work yet, but apparently it launches this week. So go subscribe.
All the real coconuts out there.
Subscribe to us there, rate, review, all that stuff.
Yep. Follow us on all your social media platforms. You can follow me at Section 336. You can follow Josh
at Josh Soroka. And don't forget Patreon. If you go to section336.com and click support up top, then you can become a 336er and help us out through Patreon.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, boys and girls. As always, go O's and go Baysox.